Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you from a secret location somewhere in the Arizona desert, high desert. And I shipped these worms from Alabama Monday before Thanksgiving. Today is Saturday after Thanksgiving, and I just received the package. I'm here to open the package that I shipped from across country. Now, one thing that disturbs me about this is I did a video on our nation's disintegration talking about the quality of labor. As you notice, this box is marked fragile all over, but you can see it's been treated somewhat less than what I would expect for a fragile box. It's been crushed, and I get a lot of pictures that a lot of my customers send me where these postal workers do things like that. You know, that's just the state of the labor in the country today. So watch my video also, tough love, for what you need to do about things like that. Anyway, I'm looking and experimenting with the idea of starting a western annex of Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm right out here so that I could ship on the western coast area a lot faster and more expeditiously and serve my western customers. And it also saved me some cost in shipping. And so that's a good deal for me and for the customers on the west coast if I can pull that off. And so I'm going to show you what it looks like to open a box of worms that I send to you. And this is the first time I've had the privilege of doing this on the other side. Now, please do subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to have a whole lot more videos on worms, raising worms, on farming, on urban farming, on growing gardens, how to survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. A lot of videos about things you need to watch out for. Keep your eyes wide open and a head on a swivel, because you don't know what's going to come down to you. And so that's what we're all about here. So let's get back to the worms here. We're going to open this box and see what we got. And so I'm going to cut the tape, went across the top, and another piece over here. See, I tape them across the top, and I tape them this way with this tape here, and there's one down the center. And just cut it down the center. Voila! It's open! Now these worms have been, everybody asks me, Greg, how long will the worms survive? These worms have been in the mail sans a Sunday all week, 6 days. And you will see what you get from me is a letter of thank you and appreciation, signed, and there's a guide on raising worms. And it covers a little bit of the story of me getting started too in here. Things that you need to know for raising worms are here in this guide. But mainly I would tell you to watch my videos on raising worms. So there's a lot of information here. This is 5 pages, very small print. I know some worm farms send out a lot less, but this is what I'm sending out right now. So there you go. You see what I send out. And this is a package. Worms right here. It's got taped up, nice little carrying handle. It's in a sandbag so it can breathe. Smells nice, nothing's gone wrong in here. Nothing's wet. The worms are good and healthy, even though they've been in shipment for a long time. Now we'll take a look at these worms. We're going to cut this bag open. Sometimes I would just cut off this tape up here, but we'll just cut the bag around the edges. Cut out around this carrying handle to get to the worms inside. There's some worms. Get to that because it's been pretty cold. Apparently. So there we got some wiggling going on in here. Alright, I will dump these out shortly and you can see them. Look at that. There they are. There's the worms, little wiggle worms. Red wigglers right here. Is it clear? You can see a bunch of them. Alright, so we will dump these in a moment in the bins. I got to do a little work on the bins to get them prepared, and we'll move to the next phase. Okay, now we're going to fix some totes up real fast to put these worms in. We went and got some compost from a local compost source, and I'm going to drill holes in this bottom area that's the lowest. And this will be the top container to hold the worms in. So I'm just going to put a whole bunch of holes in there real fast. Okay, what we're going to do now is drill these holes in the bottom, flip it over. I'm going to put wet sand in it. This sand's already a little bit moist. And we're just going to cover these holes real good with it. Trust me, this ain't rocket science, and I ought to know something about that. But anyway, so let's see. We're just going to spread this down in here. It's kind of pumping to itself. This is wet enough that it's not going to just pour through the holes. You don't see sand pouring through the holes. Might add a little extra water to it to kind of reinforce it. I'm trying to spread it out here in the bottom. Just get that area covered nice. This does two things. It lets the moisture go through, keeps the compost from stopping up the holes, and keeps the worms from going through too. Now we'll try just a little water added to it to give it just a little extra moisture. I really don't think I need it. Now some of this will leak through. The water will. Now what I'm going to do is pop this guy open. This is our compost that we got. This is a mixed compost. We're testing to see if this compost has too much pine in it for worms to raise successfully. So we're going to try this out as an experiment from a local source here in the high desert. It's mostly wood chips. It's supposed to have a little bit of manure in it. And I'm pouring this in here because this is the one with the holes in it. And this will become the catchment. See, it's going to be hard to drill holes into this one. That's why I did not do it with this one, and why I'm switching them around. Now that's a good bit of compost for the worms that we have. I put our compost bin with worm in it, won't settle all the way to the bottom of the catchment bin. We've added some rocks in here. Woods are the precious thing in the desert. Rocks are plentiful. Use what you got. And this, just put the lid on it. I'll drill holes in the lid, and it'll be ready for worms in. I'm going to drill a few air hole lids, or air holes in the lid. And they don't have to be pretty. Just got to remember, you got to keep your smaller drill bits straight. I'd use a smaller one for the air holes to keep the worms from coming out. Plunge it straight up and down. Put a bend in it, you break the bit. You want small holes so the worms won't get through them. And if the worms are escaping anyway, then put your bin under a light. What's going to happen here is the water, as it drips through here, is going to kind of evacuate the volume in here, and it'll pull the air in. Alright, so what you got to remember is the worm has gizzards. They got to have some grit to grind their food up or they won't be able to eat it. So I put, about a handful and a bin of this size of sand. And I put a handful over here. And we'll mix it up a little bit. That'll give the worms some grit to process their food with. They'll go through there and they'll find that and they'll pick it up. I might get a little bit more. But you don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. Enough to give them some grit to put in their gizzards. Eat their food, or else, there might be some grit in the bigger worms you get, but there's not going to be grit in the baby worms that hatch. I'm going to put about half in each one of these. It's going to be a rough, nothing scientific. No rocket science. I'm just going to go about halfway in this bag and empty it out. See all those worms? What these are packed in, this is peat moss. They will dive down. Don't have to worry about them. They will dive down into this. I'm going to put worms over here in this other one. Put the rest of them in here. Make sure we don't have any left in the bag. And pick up our trash back in this bag and put it in the box and throw it away. Look at all these worms. And they will dive down. Separate them out a little bit. Get them active. They'll go down inside that compost. And that, my friends, is how you open a box of worms, what you get from worms when you get from me, and how you can put them up real fast so they can live. We'll be building bigger and better worm beds here, but this will get it started and give us a good experiment on the use of this compost, which is a little bit rich in pine material. One bin is less rich than the other, and that's our saving grace. Now we got a nice warm temperature control place for these worms here in High Desert, and it's in a well house. And here they are. Lo and behold, the bins are ready to go, and there'll be happy worms right here. And please, if you've not already subscribed to my channel, subscribe, click the update notification bell, and thank you for watching.